right. We all good,
Son of a
gentlemen?
bitch. No, not really, but yeah, sure.
All right. Welcome back to the Compel Reality Podcast. We're here today with a very special guest. His name is RuckUp.
Yeah,
Would you like to
Hello, boys.
introduce yourself, my friend?
Absolutely. I am RuckUp. I do have a real name, and that's Joel. And what I basically have been doing is getting into this VR thing that everybody's been kind of obsessed with lately. I'm actually I'm really old to this or really new to this as opposed to most of you guys who've been around for a while. I actually didn't start until actually December of last year. And
Wow, okay.
I just went full tilt into it. Absolutely full tilt. I kind of got an obsession into it. And I think that that's kind of what everybody does when they actually put on the headset, and it's just all of a sudden it's just something completely different than anything you've ever done before.
Right.
We had actually one of those old headsets that you throw the phone into, and it overheat.
The fucking cardboard.
Yeah, it was actually it was a plastic one, but same difference for sure. Yeah. And that phone would get so fucking hot, like it was like ready to melt your hands when you touched it.
Yeah.
So we basically drawered that, and we didn't go back into it. And then I started seeing a bunch of YouTube videos and stuff like that, and just watched them. And then all of a sudden, I was like, no, we gotta, like, especially with having kids and stuff, we were just like, we gotta try this out. So bought a couple for Christmas, prior to Christmas, for the family. And then I was like, fuck you guys, I'm going to play it before you guys get to open it. and it just exploded from there. I was like, I found something that I really, really like doing. And then it was just, the rest is history. It was just something that was just unreal.
So how long in total have you been playing VR? Roughly?
December, 9 months.
9 months? Oh, wow, you're fresh.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Really fresh.
I'm a newbie on this one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think that for myself, I was really looking for something, and I do talk about this a lot on my stuff, is like the mental health portion of it. Like I think it's big. I think it's important, and I think whatever you find that is important to you is something that works, whether it's VR or fucking playing golf, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I heard a lot of stories from people that we've had on here. I mean, just in general, like other people that we know who play VR, a lot of people, especially like during the 2020, all the shenanigans during 2020, you know, they were just like, man, VR like saved my life, you know? Like, it's really, I don't think it can be like understated just how incredible this technology is, especially when you consider that it's like, it's not just like, so many people overlook the, you know, it's gaming, entertainment, movies, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's all the other shit that it does, you know, how
socializing.
I mean, socializing, yes, for sure. But like, you know, they're using it to rehabilitate stroke victims or help people with autism or, you know what I mean? Like there's just so many just really mind-blowing uses for it that have been.
Oh, and the mental health and the mental disability chapter of it. I don't want to get too wrapped up in like all this mental health stuff because it's important to me, but in reality, what you're saying is spot on. What it's doing for people that need it is astronomical. Like for us sitting here, we may just play it, but there's people that really have huge disabilities that are finding it a life-altering platform to make them feel better. Like people with, especially people with like other disorders or anxieties or even social issues. They're now able to get into a platform and learn how to socially interact with people on an easier level than they would in an actual real environment.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's absolutely amazing. But anyway, so after that, basically after Christmas, I just wanted to do more content. I wanted to create some content just for fun. And then I started going, like I said, hardcore into it. So I have a previous business, and we make like stickers and 3D printed stuff. And then so I went into so then I took that model and I went into the VR realm, and I started making decals for VR, and I'm on Amazon and all those other places. And then I was like, I really want to.
Sorry, just to clarify, decals they're like
the decals on the headset itself.
Yes. Okay. All right. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
In the room right now, we call them decals. You guys call them decals. So sorry, you might need a translator for me. I'm a little bit up north. So, but
no worries.
But created the decals, And from there, I just expanded, and now I've brought in head straps that are RuckUp branded. So I'm excited about those. I got little gun accessories coming in soon that are RuckUp. So my goal, and this isn't going to be a sales pitch, it's just reality of what I wanted to do for the environment, was I wanted to be somebody who was not only doing the creation of the content, but I also wanted to show that content creators also want to be part of what Oculus or what Meta is doing and what other things are doing. Like we all see this stuff, but we actually don't see people behind the scenes. And I think that our environment needs that a lot more with it being so new. So
yeah, for sure.
I would absolutely agree with that. Yeah, there's a lot. There's like you're absolutely correct. There's like a superficial aspect to it, which is the parts that everyone sees, right? You know, the VR games and the content, you know, the things that are on the surface, but they don't actually see what we're doing behind the scenes or what companies are doing to market their games and et cetera, right? Like there's 100%. All these other sort of like adjacent industries to VR that are kind of, I absolutely see what you're saying there.
Totally agree. And I think that that's kind of what we're missing right now. Like there's a lot of developers that are in the VR world right now that you see them actually on TikTok. Sale's a good one. He's always on there. He's always doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff, which we don't get to see much. And it's great to see communities building like that, because I think that that's why I've become so I love this community so much, is because it's not as toxic as a lot of other communities. Yeah. For one, podcasting is a very toxic community. That's why I got it.
It really is. And like, for like not really any reason. I'm just like, why? Like
it's all for one and one for one. Like it's just everybody just wants to go for themselves. It was But I'm glad to be here. I appreciate you guys having me on. Yeah, I know that was a long-winded intro, but
you're good.
I think VR is going to be an
literally
amazing
the star of the hour. So if you got something to say, just say it. Like that's pretty much what we're here.
Absolutely. And then so I just enjoy the community, and I've really gotten, like I said, deep into it. But I think that it's just all around fun, and I'm excited to see where VR goes in 5 years. 10 years, it'll be completely different than we could even imagine.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I think so too.
So
I feel like I was actually talking to Demo the other day about this, and I was like, I feel like we're standing on the precipice of the internet 2.0. You know, like when the internet first came out back in like the 80s. Well, it was out before the 80s, but it became consumer friendly or available more so in the 80s and 90s, right? Yeah. Like it came out and people were like, what is this new thing? Like what is so great about it? They didn't see the gimmick behind it. And little did they know that it was actually going to completely change the world in ways they couldn't even possibly imagine. Right.
Yeah.
Like the level of, you just think about like the level of information and stuff that we have access now to, thanks to the internet and the ability to connect with one another and sit here and literally make eye contact in a virtual world. Right. That's all thanks to the internet. And I feel like VR is like the next iteration or step of that. And I feel like not a lot of people realize it yet, but you know, that's why we're here.
I couldn't agree more. 100%. I think that there is a lot that can be done in this environment that hasn't even been tested yet. Yeah. And I think that there is so much capability for people to, like, the interact and the social aspect of it is fantastic. But when you get into like medical, or like we go back to the mental health thing, like there's a lot more that can be done that we still haven't even scratched the surface with. Yeah. But the game development is still in its infancy. Like, and the technology wise, like anybody, I have a Quest on my head. This thing's worth probably to build it, probably $50 for Meta, I would say, if that. And if you put in another $100, $200 into a set, you're putting some pretty killer technology into it. And I think that there's just so much that we can do in 5 years. It'll just be, we won't even know what we're doing anymore.
So I have a question. Are you a gamer? Like just in general?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I was curious because like Panda said something you said reminded me of what because Panda said that he wasn't really a gamer all that much, like before he got into VR. And then once he got into VR, he became like a hardcore gamer, but it was because of VR. And that's kind of what I was going for there, which is like it's like kind of opening doors for people, right? Like people,
well, it is.
For some reason, it's just different. Like it's just different from pancake games.
Yeah, and I think you feel that immersion when you're in there. There's so much different. It does a lot of shit to your brain. As soon as you put your headset on, you're not thinking the way you did when the headset was off.
That's true.
Like if you can put some straps to your brain and record some fucking frequencies, you're gonna see a completely different person. Right. And I think that for myself, I was a gamer before, but when I started playing VR games, and I was blown away. Like just, and the funny thing is we talk about AAA titles a lot, right? And I'm like, I don't even give a shit. It could be a bunch of blocks. As long as the game is in this immersive environment, I enjoy it. Like we pick up things and throw them or do whatever else we got to do. Like that to me is just, you can do that on a flat screen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So I have a question. So it's kind of off topic, but it's a genuine curiosity. You have been when we were typing on Discord, right? You have been saying like military terms. Are you military, or do you have a military background?
Not going to go super deep into this.
No problem.
So about 10 years ago, I'm not going to talk about my current stuff, but about 10 years ago, I was a private security contractor. So I worked overseas.
Oh, okay.
I've been to basically the shitholes of the planet, but not the fun ones. But no, so I worked with a lot of, and that's why I don't really have a huge Canadian accent, because most of my youth, my older youth, I was working with Americans and Brits and Australians and stuff like that. So
makes sense.
That's kind of my background.
It's just genuine curiosity because of the way you were typing to us, because I was like, that's really it's not normal in terms of the people that we've talked to. So it was very different. Yeah. I know a military. I have a military friend I met through VR, and he doesn't talk like that. So I was like, that's different. So I was just genuine curiosity.
No, and I kind of slip up sometimes and go back to
no, you're good. You're good.
Criticism or anything.
Just genuine curiosity.
So, actually, JD from Homeland, he also is former military as well.
Yeah, he is. Yep. Yeah, but again, like the vocabulary wasn't there. It wasn't. It wasn't really
we
intended.
Didn't actually know.
Yeah. So it's like, so that is, you were the first one who actually like spoke these terms. They're like, that's interesting. Is he this or whatever? So,
right. Yeah. No, now I'm refreshing. I get it. I do. I definitely go from civvy back to like military lingo quite a bit. Again, my day job revolves around that. So sometimes, especially days like today where I'm just like chaotic busy, I kind of forget that I'm like my verbiage.
you're good, brother. It's just genuine curiosity is all it was.
Yeah, no worries.
So you are an entrepreneur, a content creator, a family man, and a military man.
Yeah, how the fuck do you have time, my guy? I don't even have half those things, and I'm like, I'm struggling to manage myself. Like,
you do a decal business, and then you have you just got your straps. I saw that on TikTok. You actually just mentioned it, and then you're actually doing a game dev too, aren't you? Right?
Yeah.
Like holy shit. Yeah, you didn't know that?
So I hopefully it'll be released this year. I'm learning a lot on my own for that project. So I've told everybody that I'm doing it, that be gentle, because like this is literally my first. I've made a game before. It was an Android game. It was one of very simple fucking ball bouncing bullshit, right? Collect as many points as you can, get to the next level, or just keep going, right? So I've done games before from scratch. This one's not really from scratch. And I'm going to be completely honest, anything I don't know how to do on there, I get somebody to do for me. I'm a one-man show with everything I fucking do. So if you want to complain about that, well, that's on you, not me. I can give a shit. Because if I want to get something done, I'll get it done. The game was something that I've always wanted to do, and when I got into the VR realm, I was like, it's got to be so difficult. It is difficult. I'm not going to say it's not, but I wanted to make a VR game, even if it sucked. Like I really didn't give a shit. I just wanted a game out there, right? And I wasn't going to charge anything or do anything. But then I started really getting deep into this one, and I was like, I can actually do this. Like I was like, fuck, like I'm not that great at coding. I suck at all this other shit, but at least I can learn how to do it and make something out of it, even if it's half-assed. Like, I just want to get one out there and then move on from there. So I'm pretty stoked about that. It's going to be a basic, I mean, it's not no AAA title, that's for damn sure.
Oh yeah.
But it's also it's got a little bit of zombie action and like your zombie shooter game, kind of, I guess. Yeah, it is. And basically there's a story behind it, but I don't want to reveal the story yet. That's kind of going to be for the game. But I do a lot of videos on TikTok and all that are, I take the characters and I do something weird with them just to have a little bit of fun with it. And then same goes for right now I'm doing this little tournament thing where I take NPCs and I just let them fucking fight it out. And then I do like 3 rounds
just play God with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then whoever wins that round goes on to the next round and had a big little tournament of 16. So just kind of stupid things like that I enjoy doing. So those, again, we're talking about like for my mental health and myself. Sitting down with the computer for an hour and a half and just making that happen is just kind of my thing, right? So
that's like how you vent your energy. Like
absolutely,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we're a busy household. We got 4 kids, so there's a lot going on in our house at any time.
Little minions running around.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just a busy household, so we just try to do our things and have fun at it too. And we do teach our kids like the solitude of doing something for yourself and enjoying it and not really giving a shit what everybody else says. So
yeah, I think that's an important life skill to teach mindset. People. Yeah, honestly, yeah. I think if more people were doing their own thing and focusing on the things that they were truly passionate about, I think the world would be a lot happier place. You know,
agreed.
Absolutely, 100%. Instead of getting nosy and fucking getting in everybody else's business.
So you're basically our second, I guess you can say dev. You're our second dev on the podcast, because we had Tropical. Tropical was our first real dev on the podcast.
That was a good show, by the way.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for coming, watching, and all that stuff. Thanks for supporting us. And I actually, I think I talked about this in a previous podcast episode. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but I stated that I actually wanted to have more developers on the show. Yes, and I feel like this is just like the VR community itself. I feel like it's common for developers to commune with each other and ask for help, right? So I feel like
absolutely.
I feel like, because there's several people I want to talk to on the podcast that are developers that I think would. If for example, if you're an upcoming developer, I feel like these people that I have in mind that have insight could help other developers or want to help developers and have people succeed. And I feel like they could help you or whoever the fuck else in the future, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And if they don't want to help you, or they don't want to help me, or they don't want to help other people, fuck them. Because honestly, the way I look at it is if you're gonna put yourself on a pedestal this early in the game, especially for VR, then you're not relevant. I think that you need to help other people, and that especially with this being so new. I mean, I know I'm new, and I'm a nobody, but I think that if there's anybody that can help anybody, it makes this community better and stronger. And if you're not going to do it, then you're just an asshole. Yeah, that's the way I look at it.
You think it's kind of like the success of the village is not determined by one person's success; it's determined by everyone thriving, sort of.
100%. 100%. And I think that some, quote unquote, some of the creators that are a little bit been doing this for a while, I think they've kind of lost that passion. And I think that a lot of us that are trying to come up sometimes feel a little bit pushed down, because of the nature of the business. And it's so much in its infancy right now, and it's no fault of their own. It really, really isn't. It's just the nature of the beast right now and how everything's playing out. And I think that what we need to do is we need to sell a shit ton more headsets, whether it's whatever 100%. Company it is, but we got to get VR more in the mainstream. And for yourselves, absolutely. And I do want to talk about the price, because this kind of goes on to it, but Meta raising the price $100. Where I was talking to somebody else about that, and they were getting pretty pissed off about it. But realistically, that's not going to change the game at all. I bet you, if anything, it's going to cause more people to buy it. Just because you raise the price of something doesn't mean you lose the amount of people that are going to going to buy it. They still have the initiative to buy the product. They're just going to do it differently, and $100 isn't going to make or break it. So.
I'm sorry. My dog is just sitting in front of me, just begging for attention right now. Hi, buddy.
I thought it was a kid. I was like, was I hearing a kid?
Dog. He's licking my face right now. Hi, buddy. Okay. Yes, I know you aggressively.
This isn't Compel reality without Diesel interrupting.
I know, right? It's like every single episode. Okay, buddy. All right. Okay.
You look like you're just rubbing your nipples, bro.
He's literally, he has his paws on either side of my shoulder, and he's just fucking just sitting on me, just standing on me. Okay. Oh my god. But you are just.
I wanted
so heavy.
I wanted to bring up the dev thing because I wanted to bring up like the fellow developers onto the podcast to see if there any relations could happen in the future, right? Like example being Tab. Tab is probably a well-known solo developer lately with Samurai Slaughterhouse. Fucking awesome game, by the way. If you're listening, Tab, ever fucking Samurai Slaughterhouse is fucking amazing. I saw you play it on TikTok. So fucking so good.
That game's awesome.
Fucking
that is an awesome game. I'm stoked for it. Actually, I was waiting for it to come out. But when I saw the demo come out, I was just like, I just had to get on there, and I was just wanted to play it. I was itching for it, actually. To be honest.
I just got the Patreon thing. I just got on it and just purchased it right there. I want to do the same thing for Lo-Fi. I haven't had the chance to buy Lo-Fi.
Oh man, I want to try.
Because that looks so good. That looks so good too.
Yeah, it really
and then,
does.
I don't remember his name, but I remember the name game. No. The different
game. Okay.
Well, I still want to somehow talk with that guy. I think that I want to play
it. I talk with him sometimes on Twitter. I could reach out to him if you want.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get him on a podcast. But like,
I would love to have him on. Honestly, I would.
Because okay, then you're doing a zombie game, and then you got Tab doing a samurai, like, it's weird, samurai manga panel inspired by Samurai Champloo. Love that anime, by the way. Fucking killer. And then you have Lo-Fi, which is like cyberpunk-esque, right? And then the Neolithic, is that what it is?
Neolithic survival game.
Yeah, dude, I think that one looks sick as fuck. And I'm like, I mean, I know he's still developing it, but it looks so fucking.
He's
good.
Also a one-man team as well. Yes, he runs the whole operation himself.
So it's funny, you're like, I feel as passionate as you are talking about it, because you're showing a lot of like classic emotion when you're talking about these games that you really like. Yeah. Now we talk about AAA games. Yeah. Like, why we don't need them in our space right now. Nope. And I've said this before, when people come up to me and I say, okay, well, what's your favorite game, or what brought you into it? I'll joke about this again. If I hear Half-Life Alyx one more fucking time, I'm going to scream. I don't give a shit about Half-Life Alyx. I really don't. I think that there are so many great developers out there that have made such great indie games that people should start there. There's amazing content out there, amazing games. Side Quest is a goodie bag for anybody.
Oh yeah,
Side Quest is something that I really need to explore more, because I just saw somebody made like a open world like classic Pokemon game on Side Quest in VR, and I'm like, dude, nostalgia, throwback to like Pokemon Red and Blue from like '97 on Game Boy Color, right? I'm like, I gotta try that shit,
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. I definitely don't agree that Half-Life Alyx is like it's definitely made a staple, right? It's definitely there as a staple in the VR industry for sure, because it's a fucking amazing game. You can't deny that.
I do. I love HLA. It's such a good game.
But like, again, as you said, there's a plethora of other games that can use that spotlight as well that really don't get it. this is not categorizing blade and sorcery or whatever like that, right? I'm thinking like, so I'm actually very surprised. For example, I'm in the Into the Radius Discord, and not that many people are in there, and not many people play it. I don't think. No, I haven't. Granted, I haven't seen any charts, right? But I mean, I stated this on the podcast. It is one of my top 5 favorite games. It's one of the most immersive fucking games I've ever fucking played.
That's also a really small studio, isn't it? It's like 2 or 3 people or something.
I don't remember. It's CM Games, Creative Mobile Games. That's all I remember. But
okay.
But it's fucking a phenomenal game, and that's one example of games that deserve a good spotlight because not many. And I think what's his name, Prez, Eric for President. He changed his name to Prez. Yeah. He posted a tweet a couple days ago. Can't remember, something like, if you don't review a game, if VR content creators don't review a game, it's just not gonna drive the attention to that game, and then those games will die.
Yeah,
and that's a very, very good point. Very, very good point. And
I agree.
That's kind of like the heart and soul of the VR community is the content creators right now.
Exactly. Absolutely, and I think that it's unfortunate because the dev teams, if they're one person, they don't have time to be dicking around and making content all day long. Like go back to the game Sale. Like he's just making his content daily. Like he's doing a really good job. That's why he's got so many fucking ton of followers, and that's why he's selling so many games. Like he's doing it right. Yeah. And I think that even passing the buck and getting other content creators to enjoy your game too is definitely the way to go. But there's so many games that get lost in the wind.
Yeah, man.
That's actually what led me to like start my company. Sorry, shameless self plug, but
no, absolutely.
That's what led me to literally start my company that I'm like kind of like in the works of trying to get kind of up and running right now, which is literally just to be a social media marketing business for specifically catered towards VR games, especially like smaller indie studios who don't have the manpower or the deep pockets to pay like a professional, I mean, like we are a professional agency, but like a high end professional marketing agency, you know what I mean? And that's
it's needed.
Like, yeah, because nobody's really doing that for the VR games right now, and it's like, dude, like the game development, in my opinion, that's like the hardest part of making a game. You know what I mean? Like just telling people and showing people the game, like that's the easy part, right? So that's kind of what I'm trying to do right now is reach out to developers and stuff, and get these games like in the hands and faces of people.
And I think that's what's needed for sure. I think people need to just kind of share the love for a better choice of words. For sure.
Yeah, and definitely need more exposure for these small games. Definitely, because like again, as I said, like as Prez said, like if you're not going to review it, if content creators are not going to touch it and not review it or whatever, or showcase it in any way, shape, or form, then it's just not going to get the spotlight it deserves. Like another small example would probably be Beanstalker, right? Because you don't really see many people play Beanstalker, right?
No, you don't.
Like I remember me, you, and Chase played it together, and then I did review for it. You did a review for it. That was before we met.
So much fun.
Met Chase.
That game is actually super under fucking rated.
Yeah, it's really good.
Underrated.
It's really good, but again, it's not covered as much as it should be. There's just VR is very niche. It's very, very niche. So these content creators like ourselves have to really push these reviews out and so on. That's why I still try to do reviews as much as I can. I just like I can't. Sorry, fucking Diesel, bro.
I'm so sorry. Like he's normally pretty vocal, but he's been exceptionally vocal.
But like I don't know, like it just has to happen. Like it really genuinely has to happen. Because I'm sure I'm
Diesel, please. Please, buddy.
I'm absolutely positive some more will die because of the lack of exposure, especially because the VR community is so niche. it's so tiny compared to flat screen.
It's extremely difficult to find them. Like they're getting overshadowed by a lot of other like desktop and pancake games on Steam and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's definitely like a it's not that they're not there, that just nobody can see them, right? It's like being in like a hoarder's room, right? It's like buried under layers of shit, right?
Absolutely. I think every time you go onto Steam, all you see is the first. I mean, I naturally just go to categories and go straight to VR games.
Yeah, same. Likewise.
I haven't even. It's not even. It's just like my brain just clicks. Like that's what I'm going to do right now. And I think that I think for content creators and stuff like that, I think it's just hard because right now is, like you said, this precedence of like a lot of developers, like indie developers, are coming into the space right now because they know that the PC world is just flooded. You can make whatever PC game you want. It's going to be put at the bottom, especially if you're an indie developer.
Right.
You may have your golden moment, and that's awesome. Like go for it for sure. But you have better traction in the VR world to start off now and have a game that's 3 years old in 3 years.
Right.
All of a sudden now it's a big game because now you have 2 billion headsets that have been sold, right?
Yeah.
So I think that now is the time for people to really get in and really make something out of what they want in the VR community. Because I think if you wait too long, it's going to hit that moment where like I said, there's going to be 1 billion headsets sold and you're going to be far behind.
It's like a point of critical mass. Like there's going to become a point where it's just like
tipping point.
There's almost no point in trying anymore, right? Because it's going to be so oversaturated, right?
Yeah, and you look at some of the content creators for PC for flat screens, like there's so many of them. Like you go onto Twitch and it's just like this, like you don't even know where to start. Unless you really
making it big as a gaming YouTuber, right? Like nowadays, right? If you started now, like if you started back in 2010, sure, you're probably huge now, but yeah.
And I think that's where we are in VR. Is if you're starting now, like you guys are doing amazing jobs here, in whatever years it is. I mean, there's nowhere to go but up, right?
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the VR industry is growing at an exponential rate. I mean, you look at just the growth this year compared to the last year, and it's like, I mean, we're talking hundreds of percents increase year to year. It's like, it's actually like this level of like growth in an industry has almost never like been seen before in history, except for like, I think smartphones and video gaming, right? Like, porn. But like basically literally just the biggest industries in the world pretty much now. And so if that's any indicator of what the VR market's going to be like in the next 5 to 10 years, I think it is going to be. Then,
I agree, and I think that in the next few years, these indie developers, and I hate to say this, and I really, if you're an indie developer and you're watching this, please listen to these words very carefully. But I think that in the next few years, I think the AAA developers are going to come in and buy a lot of the indie developers out, and that's how they're going to get their foothold in VR rather than making all these huge titles right away. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, because I mean, we've seen how well that's gone for them when they've tried to make a AAA title from scratch. I mean, I mean, look at Medal of Honor just as an example.
Half-Life Alyx is like the only real good AAA, if you can.
Right, like it's actually the only well-executed AAA title, I think, for VR to date. And then you've got like Assassin's Creed. I think still is kind of like up in the air. Splinter Cell got canceled. Activision Blizzard, they were like originally planning on doing some kind of Call of Duty VR mode, and they were just like, nah, let's focus on desktop. I think you're right about that, because I think they know that they can't. Well, most of them are huge corporations, right? And so they're backed by like a lot of investors and venture capitalist types, right? And what those people want to see, and this is I'm basically just reporting this word for word from Tropical, is they want to see a recipe, a formula that can be repeatedly performed over and over and over and guarantee them X amount of dollars profit on return on investment, right? And that's all they care about. They don't care if it's actually a good game. They don't care if it's, actually if people are really genuinely interested in it. The profit margin is what they care about. And I understand that from a business perspective, right? But I think that's why they haven't gotten into VR yet. because that doesn't exist. There's no recipe or formula for success yet, at least currently in the current state of things. I think because people see through that, like at least like they see through the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like right now in VR, they're looking for a compelling game, and it's just as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, because I think that with this community as small as it is, it doesn't take long for one of us in this room to say something, and it's gone, and everybody's going to know about it, right? And I think that that's what they're worried about, because they make one bad game, they're out not millions of dollars, like tens of millions of dollars. They're creating departments. They're creating like they have to go and get marketing groups. Like there's not just they're not just going to a couple of developers here, and they got an army of fucking people to build these games. Right. And sure, they make a great game, but at the end of the day, if one of us doesn't like it, and not just one of us, but if a few of us don't like it for legitimate reasons, that the game doesn't actually suck, they're out all of this money. Why not just go buy another game that's already made a staple of itself inside the VR community and just piggyback off that? Yeah. That would make more sense to me.
And then they just basically keep the same people on the team or whatever, and just have them run the next game. And
like Vale has done like a really good I guess demonstration of what you can do for the marketing, right? Because you see Vale almost everywhere in terms of VR lately. Like it's and I'm sure everyone can agree that their marketing is like superb for VR.
It's marketing in the VR industry.
Yeah, it's
in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's what you could probably expect in the future for VR gaming. And yes, to be fair, indie developers can't exactly probably not afford that much, but they can still like try, right? And it's I'm just glad to see at least one company, in this case XLab, is providing a good example of what they can do to proceed for the future of VR development. Because
it's a good example. It's setting a good example. It's saying, look, just because you're an indie studio and you may not have, these huge, being backed by like VC groups or whatever, right? Doesn't mean that you can't market your game successfully. It doesn't mean that you can't reach people and show people what you can do, right? Like that's the beauty of social media nowadays, is it costs $0 to run a YouTube account. You know what I mean? It costs $0 to run a TikTok account, right? Like it costs whatever you got to pay whoever to make the content, but like you don't have to pay. You know how much it is for 30 seconds of fucking time on a billboard in Times Square? 30 seconds. It's like $2,000 fucking dollars, dude. Like what? Like that's insane. It costs zero to market it to way more people on TikTok, right?
Like, and then you also have like creators who are willing to review them for free. Like if, like, say for example, a brand new game has came out, or let's actually, I got a better example. Sail, a brand new VR game with a like Sea of Thieves-esque kind of game. And they gave a key to Habby. Habby just decided to play it. And didn't get paid for it. Nothing. Reviewed it, played it, and they enjoyed it. And it's got the recognition it got.
Right.
So you can really
now all of a sudden the video's got 300,000 views, and now they have 20,000 people who just bought the game off of that video. Right. You know what I mean? Like it's
all you got to do.
It's a no-brainer.
No-brainer. Yeah.
You just have to give, like, I understand developers may want to profit, right? But it's probably
obviously they have to make money. It's
but business, if you want to get that recognition, right, you probably have to sacrifice a few keys or something to, like, for example, Beardo Benjo or Gamertag or people that actually like
BFM
do
VR,
people who do gameplays and first impressions type of content. You will for sure get those people to go through the game. Like what's that one, Dead Second I can't remember. It's an indie game, a VR indie game. Beardo Benjo covered it I think once, I can't remember, and then sales just went
exploded.
You just have to do that, right? Like, of course, if you have the time to make your own content for your own game, fucking go for it.
Obviously,
then just do it yourself. But if you want more recognition, you're probably gonna have to go to the people who have the higher reach, right?
Absolutely.
And then you have to. I feel like this is gonna sound like kind of an asshole motive, but like this is not my intention, right? But you have to like you have to like make sure your game is like solid for it to be to the public, or to give it to somebody who can review it. Don't just like give it out willy nilly and just expect it. Hey, yeah, they're gonna give me more people and say it's a good game, et cetera, et cetera. You have to make sure it's polished for what you want, then and so on. And granted, I am not a developer. I'm not a fucking developer whatsoever.
Yeah.
But like,
but I think that's still a fair point. I don't think you have to be a developer.
I agree.
But like still, you know, the premise is there.
Yeah, and you know, this time that we're in is really weird. Like, I don't remember when I was growing up, and I'm not going to say when because that'll huge age me. But when I was growing up, we didn't have beta releases. We didn't have all these like pre-release. You buy the game before it's actually done.
Yep.
That wasn't a fucking thing. You can't buy you couldn't buy a GameCube CD and put it in and be like, oh, I'm just going to wait for the update. Like that wasn't how it worked. Right. But now some developers are pushing out games so fast that they're able to do that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's a good marketing move, because then you get to actually have your audience test the game. But if you're going to charge them for that, you really need to think about your fucking Q's and P's and everybody else, because if they get too pissed off, that game can go from up here to way the fuck down there pretty quick.
Right.
Yeah. So I agree.
Pay for an unfinished buggy mess, you know.
No,
unless like there's definitely an argument, I think, to your point, to be made for being like, this is an early access game. Like, we're selling it knowing that it's going to have some bugs and glitches, and they're kind of relying on the community to help them through those hurdles. And 100% that's a valid strategy. I absolutely will not knock that. But the important part, I think, is transparency and honesty with the people.
Absolutely,
that
I agree.
To, right? Like, so if it is a buggy, glitchy mess, tell them, and then they'll go in expecting a buggy, glitchy mess. Like, you told them what to expect. They won't be disappointed when they get something.
Help us to fix it by you breaking it.
Exactly.
I feel like another good thing to know would probably be tell them the concept of the game, of what it's supposed to be in the future, of what your plan is. Not exactly like everything. Like if for example, Vale. Like Vale doesn't want to disclose their lore entirely until the game is finished. So if you want to keep the lore to yourself, then fair. But like I feel like you should disclose at least some of the features you want to implement for the future and so on. And if hopefully that'll encourage those people who are making those videos for that game, saying, well, they had this great idea, I think it would actually make this game way better, and so on. Like, for example, if you did Into the Radius kind of backpack, or Into the Radius gunplay where you have to reload every single bullet, et cetera, something like that. And it's not in the game. I feel like if you mention it, that you want to implement that, I feel like it's going to help you just a little bit, but I wouldn't like take it too seriously.
I think that's
I agree.
A cool fucking mechanic for a game, though. That like once your magazines are out, you have to physically like manually put the new bullets into the magazine.
I love
such a cool, like realistic. I mean, it makes sense for a game like that because it's like a survival game, right? You know? Like you wouldn't want that in like Pavlov or Onward or something. That'd be like stupid as fuck. But like for a game like that, it's a really, really cool like.
Well, if you think about it, that's even like. That would like raise the competitive scene way higher.
It would raise the ceiling.
Because like you have to like obviously you have to fire, and then oh shit, my mag's out, I have to reload it, and like all my other magazines are out, gotta fucking scour through my backpack, whatever, reload this son of a bitch, load it, cock it, and whoever.
I would love to see like a fucking like DayZ type like looter shooter and fucking in VR right now. Like I feel like that would be such a cool, like almost like really kind of like Survive, but like a little more hardcore and like with maybe some PvP elements to it.
Or like,
I think just like talking about that's not something you can do on a flat screen, right? Like you couldn't load bullets
Yeah.
While you'd be pushing Q, right?
Yeah.
And you just watch them do the animation. Whereas like now, like these are little things to us or big things to us, but they're these added bonuses of what VR is going to be in like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, where we get more and more in depth in these games and being able to do certain things that you just can't do. And it's just amazing.
And there's not many games.
My dog has been so fucking needy today.
It looks like you're just jerking the air off. Yeah. But there's not even many games in the flat screen space that actually do like the reloading mechanic like that, honestly. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Like Escape from Tarkov is one of them. DayZ.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not like you're manually, like you're literally clicking a button,
of course.
You know what I mean?
But like, can you imagine? I don't know why I'm going to say this, but RuneScape like world with the features of like, I mean, what's that? I think it's Elysia. Elysia is the MMO that's coming out.
Dude,
VR MMO.
Diesel. What? What? Sorry. I love you, buddy, but I'm gonna break your neck. Yeah, I'm gonna snap your neck.
I think the game's Elysia. But they're releasing something like PvE and PvP for it. Which I'm as much as I'm not a PvP person. I feel like that would be sick as fuck to have like for again RuneScape Wilderness where PvE the minute you cross that boundary, PvP is all fair game.
Like basically like a VR MMO.
Well, that's what Elysia is. Elysia is a VR MMO, but I'm not sure how they're going to implement the PvP. Right? Like, is it going to be a separate world, or is it like RuneScape and has a boundary that you can cross?
I don't think games like Zenith and Elysia, okay, as cool as they are, as cool as they look, and as much as I've enjoyed playing Zenith, I don't think those are going to be the MMOs that define the VR MMO genre. I just don't, because like their netcode is really not very good. They have a lot of buggy issues, like, and granted, they're some of the first, so that's, I mean, to be expected to some degree, right? Yeah. There's going to be some growing pains to that, but I just don't see them like being the defining force or like making or breaking that kind of genre for VR.
I don't know, man.
I think the really good, like big next level ones are going to be coming out within the next like 5, 10, 15 years. I think that's when we're going to really start seeing them.
I mean, to be fair, a Township Tale isn't exactly MMO, but it has PvP elements and stuff like that. If I remember. I
mean, it's MMO light. Yeah, it's like instanced MMO.
But that's pretty good. And I think and to be fair, Elysia hasn't released yet, so we don't know what to expect with it.
Yeah, that's true.
And from the PvP clip they put on Twitter, I think it was like yesterday or something. It looked really good for a VR game with the netcoding of an MMO. You don't know what you're gonna get. So it looked fairly interesting to me, and obviously, like I seen Panda and JD comment on it, and they SAO nerd right here, fucking Panda put in laughing coffin GIF on there.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I don't know if you know what laughing coffin or SAO, or if you've seen SAO, but
I think that's interesting. I think that would be interesting to see what happens with that for sure.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see that.
Very interested in that. God, your dog today, dude.
Yeah, dude. He's been like this for some reason. Like some days he's better and other days he's not, you know? Today he has just been very, very aggressively needy and demanding attention constantly. And I'm just like, I can't just like not do these things, buddy. I'm sorry.
Just pet him with your foot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love him.
How we doing?
I love him though. He's my ride or die. Love you, buddy.
Well, yeah, but you know, a little loud.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna probably strangle him later. But you know, aside from that, no, I'm kidding. I do not condone animal abuse. I'm just joking.
Yeah. Luckily, my cats don't, whine.
Yeah, they just step on your power button when you're in the middle of a game.
Oh,
correct.
Or erase 2 hours of editing.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yep.
It
makes me want to fucking put them in the deep fryer for sure.
Edit, rewind, delete.
Clip that. Get canceled.
Take it out of context. See if I fucking care.
Yeah, get them canceled. Cancel culture. What do you guys see your podcast being in by next year or the year after? What are your goals?
You know,
bro,
I think the main thing, at least for me, right? Like I've been less concerned with, I think, the viewers and like how quickly it's growing, because I feel like podcasts are like, it's just inevitably going to be like a very, very slow burn, right? Like it's something that's going to really reach a wider audience in 5 or 10 years. But it's important to start it now because it's in the infancy of VR, right? But the main goal of this podcast, at least from my perspective, I'm sure maybe my partner has a different take on things, but the goal for me is to bring people together over a shared love, a shared passion, and a sense of community over VR. Because I think we all feel, or at least I'd like to think that we all feel, or a lot of us feel that are on this podcast, that that this is an incredible technology, and that we have to just take this as far as we possibly can. And then his hands are just on Mars right now. There we go. And just bring people together. You know, just from like having people on this podcast, you know, like people have been able to make new friends and meet with peers who share the same interests as them. And like Demo Akuro, you know, I introduced him to like Short Stack and Tribe Grey Wolf and Papa Boney or whatever, and like now they're friends. You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of I guess just giving forward, like trying to give something to the community in that way.
And
nice.
I pretty much have the same mentality where like, so I don't know if you're aware that but I've hosted events before. Like I've hosted several content creator events. I actually have to edit the fourth one soon. But
it's been like a month, bro. You gotta edit that shit.
Well, I've been busy with other shit. Fuck you.
I know.
But I've hosted several events, and I'm actually moving that to the Compel Reality name. And the purpose of those events were what he said is to bring content creators together and to make friendships and all that. Like with those events, you didn't have to record, you didn't have to stream, you didn't have to do anything. You could just be there and make friendships with other content creators. There was like people who had 200 subs in there, and then you had, or 200 or 1,000 followers on TikTok or whatever, and then you had people with 30,000, 40,000 subscribers in there too, or 100,000 followers on TikTok. There's several people that I wanted to bring together. Like we wouldn't have met Kevin, and if it wasn't for me reaching out, or if we wouldn't have met Demo if Genghis didn't retweet or post his video on TikTok or Twitter. I'm sorry. And there's just so many things that has occurred that brought this to fruition. And for me, Compel Reality is what he said exactly, bringing content creators together and making something better. Now, we do have plans in the future to do some extra stuff for content creators. I actually have something in mind later. I'll talk to you privately about. But there are several things we want to do for content creators, and obviously this space of talking is to give them that spotlight as well. Yeah, granted, our podcast on YouTube at least is not even 100 subs, I believe, but, but our viewership is still up there. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Yeah. Why aren't you hit the subscribe button? What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck subscribers.
Already.
YouTube is such a fucking weird beast. Yeah, it is so weird.
I'm sorry, guys. Can I want to make sure that like my dog isn't like about to shit himself. Can I just like can we pause and just like let me take him out real quick?
Yeah,
he's like whining and stuff.
No worries.
Yeah, I want to make sure he's like he's good. All right,
absolutely,
sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Be right back.
No, don't be sorry. Absolutely. What I wanted to talk to you about though, because you were talking about wait, we
can still keep going. Just
is this part in the, because I want to say something that probably shouldn't be on that.
We can totally take it off. We'll reiterate that when he comes back.
So one thing that I did, I don't know if you've seen it, but I asked a whole bunch of content creators for their posters, and I put their posters inside my game.
Matt Poole and Adam.
Did you put Adam? I think. Yeah. Oh, did I? No.
That was Tab. That was Tab. My bad. That was Tab. Tab put Adam on there.
Same difference is like you're saying though that we need to give back just as much as we take, right? So like if I'm working with all these other content creators, I wanted to have them in the game as appreciation.
Of course.
And hopefully when somebody's going through the game, they'd be like, oh, that's cool. I should check them out on TikTok or wherever they may be. And I think that that's something that we all just kind of need to do. Like you guys are doing it just naturally. Like this is the show. This is what you're doing. Yeah. But I think that even content creators should, I don't really say should, but it would be nice for them to support each other in the space as well. That's one reason why I did podcasting for about 2 years ago. And I was like, and it was nonstop. You'd get somebody on their show and then they'd kind of fucking ghost you, right? And it was just like that through podcasting. Everybody was having that same issue where nobody gave a shit about the other podcaster. Right. And here is just completely different. It's a totally different environment. Yeah. People actually give a shit.
Yeah. VR is a completely different beast for sure. They're a very kind one at that. Not one to mess with either. No, because I don't know if you saw the shit on Twitter with people taking demo stuff on TikTok. But
no, I didn't.
Well, a bunch of us, JP, myself, Rochi, all banded together to report the guy, and the video got taken down. So that's pog.
What happened? Not in my business, but
no, you're good. It should be still up basically. But so somebody took Demo's video from TikTok and reposted it without crediting them or crediting Demo at all. At all. It was they took it as theirs, and then we commented saying that it was Demo's, and they blocked all of us and everything, and then everybody reported that channel. Everybody did.
Really? Yeah. I didn't know that. Yeah. But I could see that happen.
Yeah, and then there's someone, and the same thing for Jackie VR. Jackie VR. Someone impersonated him on through Quest and pretended to be him. And made clips as him, etc., and playing with his fans, playing with Jackie's fans.
Playing with his fans, running around, just like yelling racial slurs and stuff like.
Really?
That. And then he sent him a bunch of death threats. He sent me screenshots.
What the fuck?
Death threats, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, some pretty vulgar stuff though. We probably can't or shouldn't say.
So we actually want to cut some of this out. What exactly did you want to cut out? Like all of that?
We can start all over again right here. That's fine.
Oh, we can keep in what we had, but I mean.
Okay. Yeah. No. I wasn't meaning to cut it out, and we can still talk about that. But I was just more talking about how the environment is just a lot more. There's just a lot more community effort, even with I know a lot of smaller content creators are going to do that naturally anyway because they want to grow together, or hopefully one content creator can get big and then they'll help the rest of them and so forth. But it's just like, as I was saying, it's black and white compared to when I was doing podcasting a few years ago, where podcasting was very toxic. It was just everybody was all for me and that was about it. Yeah. But whereas this one, it just seems a lot more.
Was it just in your personal opinion from spending some time in that environment? Was it like that when you say like it's toxic? Was there just like a lot of drama or?
And I noticed that because like a lot of the VR or a lot of the people that are in so you got two different, like if you're looking at this like business model wise, like podcasting, you need to get sponsorship. And I'm not saying you guys, but I mean like in the general sense of it, you're looking to get sponsorship so you can keep the show going, right? If you're not providing an income for yourself, then the only way you're going to keep your show going is through sponsorship. Sponsorship's very hard in podcasting unless unless you're actually showing the numbers, the amount of downloads or whatever it may be. Most of the time you're only making about $25 to even a little bit $30-40 off an episode off a sponsorship slot. So it's pretty hard to keep sponsorships going. And again, there's a small pool of companies that are going to go on smaller podcasts to sponsor, to do that. Again, I'm not talking about the VR community. I mean, in general, right? Sure. Here, you guys have a niche, right? You're in a VR, there's games, there's accessories, there's everything else that you guys can get sponsorship for. Yeah. Completely different than what I'm talking about. But if you're an actual podcast, there's like Podbean, there's all those other ones that you go on and you try to get affiliate links and you try to do all this other stuff where now everybody's grabbing from the same block or whatever you want to call it. Like everybody's trying to grab everything, and you would see a lot of infighting because what I found was, and this was just before the pandemic, sure. But there was just a lot of arguing, a lot of bickering over fucking nothing. And I guess for me it was different because I wasn't making a career out of it. I was just doing it for fucking giggles, right? Yeah, right. But if you're making a career out of it, it's a very different beast. And it was for me, it was just hard. It was difficult. I don't put up with that shit anyway. So for me, it was just like, you know what, fuck, I'm out. It's wasting my time. I did it for fun anyway. So it was a little bit different, but it just seemed really weird. That's all. This one just seems a lot more community driven.
Yeah. I mean, and we allow people to say their piece, right? We're not exactly, you can literally say shit, puss? Fuck, piss, shit, cum, dick, fuck, bitch, ass. No, can't say the C word. YouTube doesn't like it. Yeah. But you can literally say whatever the fuck you want on our podcast and not be reprimanded for it. Like you can just say whatever the fuck you want. I mean, not to be fair. I mean, not every. I mean, we have friends that do podcasts too, and their shit's fine too. We don't. Yeah. But ours, you can just be yourself.
Be your genuine self. Yeah, that's kind of the purpose.
Like you don't have to censor yourself or whatever. And again, what the hell? The fuck?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we'd rather people be themselves and be genuine and let things happen organically. I feel like that's the best way to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's getting harder for content creators to really get their names out nowadays. Like social media is not the same as it was. It's like we just said about YouTube and stuff. It's a different beast nowadays than it was 10 years ago. And it's it's really hard because I see some of these content creators and they're struggling to get 100 followers on TikTok or whatever it may be. And they're really letting themselves down over it. And they're trying to, like, I was talking to this other guy a little while ago, and I don't want to name drop because that's not fair. But he was really questioning, like, because I have over 4,000 people on my TikTok, and he said, how'd you get that? And he's like, well, he's like, should I really be posting like X amount of times a day, and what times a day? And I'm like, dude, here's the truth, God to honest secret to social media: just fucking post. That's it.
Just do.
There's no fucking magical algorithm. There's nothing there that's gonna fucking make or break you. You can post the same fucking video 10 times in a row. One of them's gonna hit it big. The rest of the 9 probably won't do fuck all.
There are some niches where that perform better, but I would
absolutely women taking half their clothes off for sure. Yeah, fair. It totally does. But in the reality of it, like we're all kind of producing what content we can, but like we don't need to fixate on the fact. Okay, prime example is I saw a fucking video on TikTok of a guy's fucking foot. For 3 seconds, it had 2.5 million fucking views. The next video I watched was a woman talking about her cancer and how she's going to die in 6 months, and she had 200 views. So if you're going to tell me that there's an algorithm that actually gives a shit about whether or not we're watching it or whether or not it's actually of importance, then that's bullshit. There's no way that more people give a shit about a foot than actually a compelling story about a woman and her cancer. Yeah. And I'm saying that not everybody is going to be like, oh yeah, I really want to watch a woman dying of her cancer.
Because the algorithms aren't based off of like organic interest. It's based on maximizing monetization, right?
100%.
And what they're viewing as a measurable metric, right? For what defines viewer retention, or what makes a good video, quote unquote. So yeah.
So as a content creator, if you just do the classic shotgun fucking advertising, you're going to put out more content, and it doesn't have to be fantastic, because the guy's foot wasn't that fucking fantastic, but it says sure got somebody fucking riled up. But I'm just saying though that if you show as much as you possibly can, then that's how, like, I do hear this a lot, is my content is always seems to be up front for some stupid reason. But that's only because I'm fucking doing 3 videos, 4 videos a day. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I backlog all my shit. And I do that because I want to have content, not just for the people that are watching it, but I know how to fuck up TikTok. I know how to fuck up Instagram. And it's just by blowing them away with as much stuff as you possibly can. They want not only the people watching to be on it, they want you to upload as much shit as you can. Why does it go to the homepage every time you upload a video? That's silly. Why would it do that? Because it wants you to keep, I've done my video. Hey, cool. That's what's up. Well, another hour fucking later, and you fucking forgot to take a piss, and now you're thinking, now what should I do? Right?
That's what I've said for a while. The TikTok algorithm's kind of like an abusive, toxic ex. It literally, the more you engage with the platform, the more it rewards you with views, right? It trains you literally, like Pavlovian style, verbatim, trains you into getting a dopamine rush and being like, if I do this more, I get more views, which means I get more attention, which means I get more comments, and then I engage with the comments, and then it's this vicious cycle, right? Like, it's like this vicious cycle of like, I need attention, but keep scrolling, keep scrolling, right? Like, it's just
I agree.
That's why I just post whatever the fuck I want. Like, I just don't care what the fuck I put. Like, I don't have a consistency with TikTok or Shorts or whatever. The only thing I'm consistent with is the days I upload my full videos. That's the only thing I'm consistent with. Like, I don't care for the, like, TikTok. I have 1K, which I don't fucking care. I post on there because, like, maybe some conversion will happen, but like, do I fucking doubt? I doubt it, to be honest. But it's fucking whatever. Some people have good conversion rates, but and then others don't. So it's whatever.
Well, and then you have some people that are on TikTok or Instagram. They have fucking 5 videos and they got 100,000 subscribers, and they're legit subscribers. They're not fake bots or anything like that. Well, they probably could be, but I'm just stating that it's just, there is no real algorithm that sets. I think the algorithm is, for the most part, kind of made up just to keep us on the platform, just to keep us doing what they want to do. Certain times you have to post. I've posted it every fucking time you could possibly. Posted at 3:00 in the goddamn morning. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just like the same fucking shit over and over again. And then you watch somebody, or you watch yourself post. I've done this too, where I posted one video one day, and 1 week later I posted the exact same video at the exact same fucking time to see what happened. And it was completely fucking different. So if there's an algorithm, don't you think the algorithm would say, hey, that did very well. That grabbed attention. That was the exact same video. I'll post it. I'll do good on this one.
Right.
So logically, an algorithm, if you're in any end of the industry, especially the one that I work in, an algorithm would be doing the same thing over and over and over again, would it not?
Right.
If it changes, then it's not really an algorithm. It's just randomized.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm done ranting. Fuck social media.
No, it's all good. That's why you're here.
I wanna back up to the previous conversation before he went to take his dog out.
What did I miss, boys?
Well, he was bringing up saying developers should give back to content creators, and he said he puts you put posters of content creators in his game and stuff like that. And that's
cool.
Really, yeah. Like, I saw Honey Badger, Matt Poole.
Yeah.
There's several others. I've seen it before. I've seen it several times. I just can't remember.
Tribe's on there.
Tribe. Yep.
Yeah. If I have a list of them, but yeah, no.
Yeah, that's sick though.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that really is cool.
That's dope.
I think content. I think people should do that. I think it's fair. I think it's just something to give back to the community.
Yeah, I think that's genuinely a very cool thing to do. Like a lot, like it's not very common to have a developer put you in a game or something, even if it's just a small cameo like that, right? It's still
just like some small Easter egg or something.
But it's still, it can still really put the smile on that creator's heart, like face, like it's genuine.
Kind of Legendary Tales actually did that with Habby.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, and I want to go on that because I think that, and this goes back to even the players playing the game. I think that more dev teams should actually reward the players. I was talking about this yesterday about when you score high rank in a game, especially we'll use Fortnite for example or whatever it may be, but when you score high on a game, you really don't get fuck all other than a top leaderboard. Right? Mm-hmm. Sure. Why can't dev teams reward that person by putting their skin in the game or doing something else for them? Like why can't we? It's simple as shit.
To make them feel way cooler than like just being like, all right, here's some XP, now fuck off and try again.
Yeah, but you know that poor little fucking 13-year-old boy just spent like $30,000 of his dad's fucking credit card to get where he got.
Yeah,
why can't the dev team do something for him? And that's what I think is silly, is all these pay-to-plays, and nobody really gets anything out of it except for the company. I think more devs should honor high-playing people or people that play a lot of their games and throw them in there. Throw them in there as an extra character or throw them in there as fucking some dead zombie on the floor. Who gives a shit? The guy's still going to be excited about it.
Yeah, so I think that's a really interesting mindset. Because I don't think I've ever heard that mindset. I don't think I've ever heard that mindset ever before, to be honest.
Well, and that's why I'm putting stuff in the game that are other people, because
awesome.
It shouldn't. I just think it's a little bit selfish to just keep taking money. And this is kind of, and also too is it also does the opposite. If you think of it as a business move as well, you're actually giving back to the community that's giving something to you. So your players. You can give them other things, other incentives. If a player does really good on the scoreboard, fucking send them a shirt. Send them something. Like, don't just give them, like, a lot of now, what a lot of dev teams are doing is they're giving out to the content creators, they're giving out, like, box sets of stuff, right? Like, so mine, I got the pistol whip box set before when they were doing the contractor thing, and they wanted me to show how, like, it comes with coins. It is a fucking pretty good set.
Yeah.
That's after the fact, though, and that's good to show that, hey, I want to show our players that we actually give a shit, right? And I think that Nerf is doing it right now to, you guys have probably seen that one too. So
seen it everywhere, actually.
That's what, but that's good. That's great. They should be doing that. I think that all these free gestures to the community is what the community needs. You don't see that a lot in PC anymore, right?
Or any AAA game, really.
Or any AAA game.
Just about extracting as much wealth from the player base as they possibly can, and then move on to the next project, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in a lot of cases, it's unfortunate because, like, you have cases in, like, games with, like, Anthem and what's the other EA game, the new Battlefield or whatever, where it's like, well, they already paid $60 for it, they can't get a refund, so fuck them, right? Like, oh, you did? Oh God.
Yeah. We're not gonna talk about that game.
I'm just saying. Me personally, I see EA's name on anything, and I'm immediately to doubting that game. Like instant. Like I will never pre-order anything from certain developers for that reason.
No more.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's fair too.
Yep.
I want to go back even further to answer your question. Some more, adding more depth to your original question of what we want to do here.
Absolutely.
Like, so.
What? Oh, sorry. I wanted to make sure my thing was still recording.
But like, so what we both said is to have creators together, right? And we have a lot of things in mind for the future, actually. Like, we've given hints in the Veil Discord is one thing, but there's there's plenty of other things we want to do for as Compel Reality, which I think would really change things, to be honest. Like we've had inspirations from different creators, and we want to make it into our brand as well. And when I feel like I'm pretty sure you would agree on this, we would grab these creators that we had, get those inspiration from as well, to implement their work and obviously showcase them, right? Like they're fucking good at it. Why not showcase them, right? That's I don't know if you want to.
We can talk about
the Veil one. The Veil one.
Yeah.
So
we.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Okay.
Are you guys giving like secret hands?
No. So like we have had this loose idea to make to start not just sort of take level up Compel Reality. So we're not going to be just a podcasting organization. We're going to do
actual
entertainment,
business, entertainment stuff.
Yeah, entertainment, cultural content. Just do fucking cool next level shit with the Compel Reality brand, and do like, we'll obviously have the podcast, we'll have the social events, and then we've been talking lately about starting to do like a machinima based in Veil, which is just like, we
just call it a series.
Series.
Because machinima is just machinima is like it was well known back then, but look at where they ended up now, bro. I don't think
series within Veil. And it's going to be plot driven, and it's just going to be like, cool cinematics, cool story, funny improv skits and like bits, and it's all going to take place inside of a VR game, right?
Nice.
So now imagine in 2 or 3 years it gets some traction, and some Joe Schmo is watching this series and he's like, what the fuck is this, right? And he's watching it in his basement and he's like, whoa, this is fucking VR. Like, this was all done inside of virtual reality. And then he's going to be like, whoa, I need to fucking get virtual reality now, right? Like, that's the cool shit that I think is going to take virtual reality.
Absolutely.
There are plenty of people on YouTube that do like cinematics. Like I think we could also do like something like music videos, right? Promote people who do who want to put their music out there or something, but they want something VR related as a music video. I think we could do that as well. We actually really want to expand Compel Reality in the entertainment space, because we're content creators at heart, right? We love making videos. We love doing the stuff we do, and even speaking with these creators. I mean, clearly we're talking to creators almost every week on the podcast. And it's like, I'm pretty sure you agree with me, but we just really want to expand Compel Reality to different departments and hopefully make it a better space to have creators come in, do their thing, be what they're good at, and showcase.
Wow, you are having a stroke, my guy.
What?
So
basically, like just collab with a bunch of different content creators on our stuff, and show people what VR is really capable of.
Yeah, man.
I think that's
I think that's a great idea. And from a business point of view, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, right?
Right.
So having just one thing can be really, really good. But if you have other ways of making that one thing into many, and then also too is using it as your brand, then I think that's amazing. I think that's exactly. I think it's a really good move for sure.
Yeah, like we were just talking literally earlier, like before the podcast, and I was like, if this is what we're going to be doing, like maybe we should like actually get this thing like registered as like an actual like business entity, and like.
And I remember me and you were talking about that on. I think it was. I think we were talking about it on. Was it
Twitter?
Yeah. And I just I gave you props for that, because you get a lot of people saying, oh well, my brand is XYZ.
Sure.
And then they're like, well, and then maybe a year down the road somebody steals it from them because it's not trademarked. It's not like, for myself, every RuckUp, everything is fucking branded. RuckUp Media, RuckUp Entertainment, RuckUp VR, RuckUp. It costs me. What I do is not cheap. It's fucking expensive. Everything that I've done is very expensive to do. You think it's easy bringing in fucking headset stuff? No, it's not.
Right.
But the point is that if you don't make it legal, anybody can fucking take it.
It's true.
Anybody, it could be gone tomorrow, and there's not a goddamn thing you can do about it.
Yep.
And that's when you put your heart and soul into something and something's just gone, it crushes you.
That would be soul crushing. Yeah. That would
like what somebody tomorrow puts Compel Reality somewhere else on something else, and you guys are just like, well, shit.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate, but it's the truth, right? And it just fucking sucks. People are like that too, and people are people, right? At the end of the day, whatever makes them go forward. So, but I think you guys are on the right track. I think it's an awesome idea, and I mean, I'll always support you guys. I think that's a great idea for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We'd actually like to have you on as a if we do like cinematic stuff.
Absolutely.
You can be a body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we are going to need body actors. Yeah,
I'm good at being dead in the corner, so I can be dead somewhere. If you want that, that's fine.
He's like, I'll just drink a whole bottle of NyQuil and good night, folks.
Wake me tomorrow. Yeah, no, it's that's awesome. That's totally awesome, and I think that I think you guys should definitely roll on that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we
it's
definitely
not
have
going to
a
be
good
something that
mindset for
happens immediately because we both have a lot of personal stuff going on at the moment. But it's definitely
life,
something. Right? I know, right?
Being an adult sucks.
So fucking inconvenient being an adult.
It is. I agree. Really, like, fuck. Let's go back 20 years.
It's definitely something we want to do. I think sooner than later. It's just kind of expand into new territory and really just try and push VR forward, push the community forward, and continue trying to bring people together. I think that's really what we're about here.
And
good job.
See, I feel like we should end it pretty soon.
We should, because if we get on another tangent, we're just going to keep going.
But I want to add to that real quick. If you are a creator and you and we do this in the future, and if you're interested in it, please send a DM to the Compel Reality Twitter so we can both see it at the same time, and then we can choreograph something. We already have something. I mean, I have some things in the works, and then we have events coming under Compel Reality that I want to put out there as well. But however, again, I said this before, but there are prerequisites. If you're a creator, if you're a developer, then you can probably come on. I don't give a shit. But if you're a creator, right? Yeah. If you're a content creator and you take it seriously, there are some prerequisites, at least for me, because if you don't take it seriously from the get-go, then I'm not going to consider you, because if you have to take it seriously, I want to see consistency of just have
We're
consistency.
Less concerned with subscriber numbers. We just want to see you putting in some effort to actually taking it seriously. That's it. Like,
absolutely.
So don't just upload one video and then be like, I'm a content creator. Like, okay,
be consistent with it. And if you're like a Twitch streamer or whatever too, like, obviously just send us links, and so we can see that you're consistent with your streaming. And stuff like that.
But we want to open up the community.
We want creators to come in so we can do stuff like this and have bigger events and so on. Now, granted, VR with events can be kind of ass. For example, if we had like a rave or whatever, right? Like the Schism thing we went to, like it was just lag city for a bunch of us.
City for sure.
But I mean, it was a good time. But we want to have it safe and optimized and no crashers, right? That kind of shit.
Right.
So I just want to reiterate that if you are a creator and you want to be a part of Compel Reality in the future, just be consistent. If you're a content creator and if you're a developer, just let us know that you're a developer and show us, like,
send us a DM.
It's just show us. But I think that's really all I gotta say, really. I mean, we have so many things in the works in the future, and we're ready for it. Or not really ready, but we're prepared to do it in the future. So hopefully that comes to fruition soon.
Do you have any closing statements you want to, any final comments or anything you want to say?
No, thank you very much, boys.
Holla at your boys, or
I don't care. I don't care about enough people. No. Everybody's done amazing. I could go on a tangent for an hour about just everybody that's done really good work in the space. But honestly, I just want to thank you guys for having me on. This was awesome.
Dude, thanks for coming.
Awesome hour here, just chatting about everything, and absolutely. One thing I will say is just check me out if you're going on to any of the social media platforms. RuckUp VR website is www.ruckupvr.com, and Pretty much it.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Check them out. You want to? It's just RuckUp VR on everything.
VR on everything.
YouTube,
RuckUp VR on everything. Yeah.
Okay.
All links will be in the description down below for you to go to all of his socials and everything. God damn it.
Thank you.
If you're not doing it, what the fuck are you doing? Fucking go do it.
What the fuck are you doing? And hey, while you at it, smash the like button. Absolutely destroy that subscribe button. There's going to be a Call of Duty YouTuber. Smash that subscribe button.
Hey, what's up, guys? Make sure you smash the like button. Leave a comment down below what you liked about the episode. You know what I'm talking about, dude? Haha, shit, dude.
It's your boy, Skater, COD player, 69420. Fucking absolutely wreck that like button.
God, 69 420. That was a good one.
But make sure you go to and subscribe, follow everything for RuckUp VR. He's an amazing person. Fucking, you do everything.
Thanks, boys.
He does everything.
Yeah, man, this man's like a jack of all trades. Yeah.
Holy shit.
He makes games, he makes decals, he makes content. I mean, I don't know if there's anything he can't make, really.
Yeah, right, man.
Well, we'll try.
We'll try to find nothing to do.
Us three will do something.
Man.
For sure.
We'd love to have you on again for sure sometime, man.
Yeah,
cheers.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
A good time.
This was fun. This is a lot about. This is a lot.
So, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, comment down below what you liked, and share it with your friends because, you know, sharing is exposure.
Absolutely.
It's free. It's easy.
It's free. Everything
like
is free. We're not telling you to fucking buy a subscription. What the fuck are you doing? And if you're not, we have a bunch.
Just make like JD and be like, if you don't punch the like button, I'm gonna come to your house and smother you with a pillow.
Right. So all of our links are in the description with the link tree. I need to put the Discord on there. I will do that after this. But we have a Discord for Compel Reality. We have our own channels and everything. So just follow us. Do what you want to do. I don't fucking care. But you know what? You know what I care for? Is to follow that guy. Once again, follow that fucking man, RuckUp VR. All right.
And these two. Cheers.
and one last thing. If you're on Spotify, hit the download button. Give us 5 stars on there.
Download
and
button.
Apple. Yeah.
Any other
Apple,
podcast thing that Anchor may have inadvertently integrated us with, download it.
Rate us 5 stars. All right. That's all I got to say this time.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for joining us. This has been RuckUp VR.
Cheers, boys. Thank you very much.
There's my tracking again. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.